Hi everyone, this is Raven, and today I wanted to share with you my endometriosis story and how I got to where I am, being a menstrual health herbalist and helping other people overcome endometriosis and painful periods, PCOS, infertility, all of it. So, my journey started when I was about 16 years old, and I was woken up at about 4:30 in the morning in excruciating pain, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this. I remember laying in bed and just being in so much pain, wishing that I could just disappear and vanish and die because I couldn't handle the pain that I was experiencing. So then I started seeing a doctor, a gynecologist, and he put me on 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. My mom was not too thrilled about that because she didn't want me taking that much ibuprofen on a regular basis. So when I was about 17 going on 18, the doctor put me on the pill to help with the pain. And that was not so good for me. It didn't really get rid of the pain completely. I still had pain every month. It did reduce the pain, but I still I still had to take ibuprofen every month. And I had horrible mood swings. I was suicidal. I was depressed. I had no libido, and I was in a relationship at the time. And then I switched to a few different pills, and the last pill that I was on, I noticed that I was having kidney pain every night. And I was eating really healthy at the time. I had studied nutrition. I knew how to eat well. I was only drinking water, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. And I decided to just stop taking the pill. When I stopped taking it, the pain went away, and about a week later, I saw a commercial for a class action lawsuit against the maker of that pill for people dying of renal failure or kidney failure. So at that point, I was pretty pissed off. I was really angry with not being heard and not having a solution for what I was experiencing. So I switched doctors and I started seeing an amazing doctor. She actually suggested that I could have endometriosis, and I had never heard that word before. No one had ever spoken that to me, so it was really a really powerful thing. She also introduced me to Vitex, which was the first herb that I started working with to heal endometriosis. And after that, I went home and I cried, and I also just spent the next few weeks and months completely glued to my computer to learn about endometriosis and how to heal. I studied diets. I tried all the different kinds of diets. I first started with paleo, and then now I've progressed and changed to basically an anti-inflammatory diet that is mostly vegan, and it really works for me. And I also stopped drinking sugar, stopped drinking caffeine, and started doing meditation. And that was huge. Just with those few things, I reduced 10 days of pain down to 5 days of pain. Then at that point, I really had to fine tune things and play around with diet, play around with herbs, and see what would work for me. And it took a few years, but I got to a point where I was at 2 days of pain. And that was tremendous. It was such a huge transformation from 10 days of pain and taking narcotics for 5 days down to 2 days of pain and still taking narcotics because the pain was really intense, but I didn't have to take it as many days a month. So I remember having a cycle that was so painful. I was just in bed crying for probably a full 8 hours and throwing up. I was in so much pain, diarrhea, just excruciating pain. And I thought at that time that I was cursed. I was like, I must have been cursed. This is beyond physical pain. This is something that I don't understand and I can't comprehend. And after that cycle, that kind of, the spiritual element really stuck with me. And I started diving into past life work and ancestor work and all of those things. And all of those things made a huge difference in my cycles as well. And then I went to a combo ceremony, which is a frog poison kind of therapy where you apply this poison through, it goes onto superficial burns that go on the skin, and within a few minutes you feel this wave of sensation moving through your body, and then you're purging and releasing a lot of just toxic stuff that's built up in the body. And for me, I think that was really helpful for getting rid of the buildup of narcotics and all the years of taking birth control. It was really a powerful detox for me. And beyond that, it was really powerful for me being able to believe in myself that I could keep moving forward and keep working on my healing. Because at that point, I was I was just beaten down. I was really beaten down from years of pain. And yes, it was fewer days of pain, but the pain was still so intense that I just couldn't handle it. It was too much for me. And I really saw a big shift with working with Combo and being able to keep going on my path and feeling that fire again to keep trying and keep fighting for my health. So after that, I decided I needed to really dive into herbalism and doing womb massage for myself. So I started a program, Women's Herbalism and Ethnobotany, and part of the program was spending some time in the Yucatan studying womb massage with a Mayan midwife. And I learned so much about healing during that trip, and my program was really impactful, and it really taught me a lot about how to work with herbs specifically for endometriosis and how to take the proper dosages to heal the condition. And to this day, I don't really know any other herbalists that actually personally have endometriosis. So for me, I had to do a lot of experimenting, and even though there were set protocols, I had to adapt it to what would actually work for someone who's experiencing it. You know, there's a difference between doing something in theory and doing something in practice where you're actually getting to see the impact on your own physical body. So that was huge. And that was when I opened my practice once I finished that program. My practice is called Moon Medicine, and I work with people who are experiencing imbalanced cycles. So that could be anything from endometriosis to infertility to PCOS to just a general disconnection from the womb and wanting to be connected to that part of the body. So I finished that program, and then after that, I was at, I think, 1 day of pain by the time I finished that program, which was pretty big improvement. And I went on to just practice, and the more I learned about working with other people, the more I was actually able to even help myself. I started working with things like flower essences for the emotional support and energetic support. I started doing a lot more spiritual healing and cleansing for myself, and really noticing the impact of, you know, being out and around other people on a regular basis, and my need to clear my energetic field, because I tend to pick up other people's stuff very easily, and that plays a role in the pain that I feel every month. Also, reducing my stress has been really powerful. Doing things that are really helpful for just feeling connected to my body. So the self-care practices that I do are really powerful for that, have been really helpful for my cycles and reducing my pain. I also went and spent a month in the Peruvian Amazon studying Combo because I just loved it so much. I had to go back and do more. And if you do a little research on Combo, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that looks really intense. And it is. It's really intense. But it's absolutely worth it. It's a few minutes of just horrible discomfort and purging and throwing up, going to the toilet, crying, just all these things coming out of the body, all this old stuff that's built up, whether it's from childhood, from, you know, ancestral things from family, things from your environment, all of that is being shed and detoxed. And that's why I include it in my practice. It's really powerful for anyone who is overcoming ancestral trauma, who's overcoming really a lot of the things that have to do with the womb, because there's so much of the womb is like a container, and if we're carrying all this stuff, then it's hard for us to heal. So combo helps to release some of that stuff so we can find our path to healing. So yeah, the road to healing has been quite windy and bumpy and dramatic and just up and down, but I am so happy with where I'm at now. My cycles are not completely pain-free, but I personally feel like with the amount of exposure to electromagnetic frequencies and things that I just don't have any control over. I don't have any control over the fact that there are hormones in the water. I don't have any control over the fact that, there's Wi-Fi everywhere, there's cell phone towers everywhere, and EMFs impact our melatonin. They deplete melatonin in the body, which increases estrogen in the body. And if you've done some research into endometriosis, you know that estrogen is not our friend. So when that is still around, I wonder sometimes if it's possible for me personally, to completely heal, because I do have such a sensitive body and sensitive aura and energetic field. And with everything that's happening with the planet, it's kind of, for me, I'm like, okay, everything that I use and work with comes from the earth, but the earth is so out of balance right now. So there's an element of, being able to find that balance that I'm still working on. And I think part of that is being able to help other people and, reaching out to you and anyone else who's experiencing really difficult cycles, and helping all of you to heal is also impacting the environment, because then that means there's less people who are eating food that's covered in pesticides. So there's less of that going into the environment. There's more people that are focused on living a more natural life, because that's really what it takes to heal this condition, is to live a more simple and natural life and eliminate a lot of the things that we've started including into our world and into our bodies that don't work for us. I just feel like there are a lot of things that we have to deal with because there is not really the amount of care given to us as there is to like the male counterparts, and things like, even just birth control. The fact that we are the ones who take this hormonal birth control when it takes two people to make a baby says a lot about how women and people who have wombs are cared for. So yeah, that's my journey, and you can learn more about me on my website, Moon Medicine. You can also book a private one-on-one session with me through my website, moonmedicine.co. And I do distance sessions. I also do sessions in person. And if you're interested in doing anything from womb work to ancestor work to working with combo, you can reach out to me through there. You can also find me on Instagram at Moon Medicines. And stay tuned for all the videos that I have coming up, and also the online course that I'm creating for anyone who's experiencing chronic severe menstrual pain or endometriosis. This is going to be an amazing course that includes 8 weeks of in-depth step-by-step guidance to everything that I've done, everything that has worked for my clients to heal endometriosis. And you also get a complete herbal package with all the amazing herbal things that I have used and all the remedies that I have created over my years of study and my years of practice that I just absolutely love. So you're getting that complete kit. You're getting all of the information in a really easy to follow online course format. And you're also getting some live Q&A sessions with me. So check me out, moonmedicine.co, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.